request that the property located at 102 Jordan Avenue be rezoned from small town mix to general business. This request was made by Mr. and Mrs. David Moser. Are you present? Are Moser present? They are. Thank you. Is there any questions from the commission about this request? Okay. I will now open a public hearing, and having talked to both parties, their agreement has been made that each one, the ones that oppose and the ones that are for, will have 20 minutes each, and during that 20 minutes, anyone may speak give your opinion. I ask that you be brief and give the other people that feel as you do an opportunity to speak and not take up the whole 20 minutes of your time. The public meeting is now open, and I will ask that anyone that'd like to speak that is in opposition to the motion, would you step to the microphone, identify yourself, give your address, and state your opinion.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Sean Cahey. I live at 306 Jordan Avenue, about 2.5 blocks away from the proposed lot. With the piece, I'm here for disapproval of the rezoning. The few issues I have with it, some of the reasons for this, and the fact is, I think that it's not really about a restaurant for me and a business. It's more about the neighborhood and also the rezoning of a particular lot. I find that the area around us in the city has multiple sites of unused business buildings that are already considered general business, as well as commercial sites that are ready for sale. Friendship Road, our strip mall where the CVS is at, we're having some other issues on that, as well as we also have a restaurant area that's already zoned going all the way down to Neptune, which has been there since the last couple of years with the subdivision that's been built down there. Second concern I have. Our area in Jordanville, residence-wise, is an older home area which we've gone in, built in, and redone for S5. We've had several businesses in the area. Unfortunately, not many have done very well. I have an old Jolly store on the corner that has yet to be rented. At one point it was set to be razzed, and whereas taxes were taken care of, it still sits with a new roof, and that's it on it. With the piece, we also have a trucking issue, and the thing that came through as a grandfather clause, as well as trucking, which is still there, which we had to do some variance work for if he decides to sell the property to go back to zoning with them. When I originally moved here, the zoning was R2 and R3. It has been changed to Old Town Mix. When we bought our house, the house was considered a bed and breakfast. At that time, we were planning on doing it. Fortunately, or fortunately, we've had triplets in this single afterwards. We're a little busy since then with these. The other concern I have in the area, especially when it comes to restaurants, Tallassee's not exactly known for having restaurants hang a long time period for certain things on the road. We've had a KFC and Taco Bell go, May's Wings, Johnny Jesus recently closed, Borderline has been closed, Raz, and a new building put up in the area, Pizza Pro, ET Subs, which Noah Jr. is now taking over to put a new restaurant in as well, the rehab in the area, and Noel's, which has been also bought by another business that's running, hoping to go back to the hotel. The other area I have is the structure in which the architectural feel going in the neighborhood. Coming into the neighborhood, the homes are older, reach up to all the way down to the Shell station, including the First Methodist Church. I think that this residential area, I think putting a new building in, especially a restaurant, is not going to fit with that there. The second thing, I don't know about a utility strain. I do unless we moved there, the city has some issues with infrastructure. We didn't know where the sewer was when we first moved there. We've been plotting it ever since then, water lines as well as electrical. I don't know what kind of surge that's going to have in the area with it. Second, added light and noise problem. We do have a noise issue in the area, sometimes the piece, but this light, we will have light on at hours that normally we don't have lights on residentially after around 8 o'clock, I assume with dinner. Second thing on the piece, there's an issue of property value if the building or the restaurant or the business that's there unfortunately fails, which we wouldn't like to see happen, but it can. In that case, it becomes a problem of putting the property up for sale. It will be set for one particular business and one small lot. The other issue I have, and this is one of my more major concerns, the fact is, The city itself, the planning commission, people like myself, or on the BEZ and the rest, have spent a lot of time working on the zoning for the city, putting in the areas for the commercial, the R2, the R3, the small town mix. I think that going through and spotting a lot to put a specific thing in an area kind of undermines that to me, of all the work that's been done with it. And at me at this point right now for myself, it doesn't feel like there's enough of the reasons I put in for me to want to change that lot when there's other areas that can have the same business put there that are already designated to them. Also being too, the people who own commercial property on Gilmore Avenue and Friendship Road, and the fact is, you're telling them, to me, the fact is, if we don't want your lot, we'll just find another lot, we'll rezone it, put the business over there with it. In conclusion, that's what I have to say with the piece. Before, I'm not anti-business, which I've been called all week with the piece. I just don't particularly care for rezoning that lot for a specific reason for that instance. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Comments. Next.
My name is Sandy Richardson, and I live at 103 Jordan Avenue with my mother and with Gary. And I've been here almost 17 years. I moved here. I was in Montgomery, lived on Perry Hill Road. Across the street from me was a wooded area. They zoned it business. They put in an interstate park. And if you go down Perry Hill Road now, you know it's 4-lane. I moved here because it was a nice, quiet town to raise my 3 children who have gone, and I now have grandchildren every weekend. I applaud everything he said. I'm right with it, so not to copy any of it. I live across the street, kind of at an angle from this place. And every car that'll go through there will shine their headlights on my living room and my bedroom windows. And I oppose it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next.
Good evening. My name is Danette Terry Howard. I stay at
Hold
104.
the mic down towards your mouth just a little bit. Thank you.
I stay at 104 Jordan Avenue. I oppose of the restaurant being built next to our house due to the fact that the school zone for the children, the traffic, heavy traffic, the be loud noise, trash all over the place. Even though that if a wall be built in between the land and my house, there will still be trash. Children have a tendency of throwing trash over something, you know, anything, if they have to climb the fence. I just think that that's not a good place for a restaurant. And also that there are other buildings there that a restaurant can't be built, business there. For Take a Piggly Wiggly, like the doctor said, on some strip going toward GKN, CBS, and it's other vacancy spots. That's all I have to say right now.
Thank you for your comments.
You're welcome.
Next.